What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Gamescom 2016. As I was there last week, I got hands-on time with some of the latest and greatest titles, and I basically want to share with you my thoughts. Now, AOC actually paid for me to go this year, so a massive thank you to you guys. They paid for accommodation, transport, and basically the entire trip, everything I would need. And it was mainly to talk about their new monitor range. Now, this is the Agon range, and it's basically all about high-end monitors. And as someone that obviously tests quite a lot of monitors, it all sort of links up and makes a lot of sense. Now, the proof is in the pudding, and we'll be testing these in the coming weeks and months. There's a massive range, so there's quite a lot of them to get through. But they also showed off their new prototype headset. Now, this AOC headset, the main thing about it really is the fact that they're going for accessible VR. It's going to be available at a lower price. I believe it was around about 400 euros. So this certainly has the chance to shake up the market. And of course, it's all about affordable VR. It's all very well having these really expensive things, but if no one can afford them, well, they're not really going to sell. But moving on to the games, and we'll start with Gears of War 4, as this was the first title I tested, and I'm actually a major Gears fan, mainly back from my Xbox 360 days, and it's just a game that I think is fairly unique really. There's not too much out there like it, at least that I have had much exposure to. Now, Gears of War 4, in all honesty, it didn't feel that different to prior Gears. Everything seems to be tightened up a little bit, but there's not really that much new to report. However, bearing in mind we haven't really had any Gears games on the PC since the original and of course Ultimate Edition, this isn't really going to bother me, and I'm sure I'll be playing a lot of it. Now, this is of course an Xbox title that actually links up to the PC, so you can have crossplay, and if you buy it on one platform you can play it on the other as well. Now, moving on to something a little bit different was Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Now, I'm a massive fan of Civilization. I remember playing them as far back as Civilization 3 was probably the one I first got into. And playing Civilization 6 at Gamescom really made me realise that this is going to be a game that's going to take up a lot of my life coming this Christmas. Now, the main reason that I was a little bit skeptical was because of the new art design, the new style of the game, and immediately as soon as I got hands on, it made me realise that I shouldn't have been worried at all, as it still looks really good. The graphics are still really good. It is just literally stylized like a lot of games are these days. There's a few new things like cities taking up more than one tile, and just generally it seems like it is going to be a game that does take the franchise forward rather than just basically being a rehash of an original game. Now, moving on towards the first-person shooter genre, and I have to say there were quite a few to choose from, but the one that definitely caught my eye more than anything else, and the one that I enjoyed playing the most, was Battlefield 1. Now, Battlefield 1 of course is Battlefield but set in the First World War, and going back in time is not only a breath of fresh air, but it opens up different sorts of play that we haven't really had as much before. And at the moment you have a load of people running around in jetpacks and the likes of Titanfall 2 with grappling hooks, so it was nice to have a game that takes it back a little bit and then is just generally a little bit different. But of course you'll be able to try this all out for yourself in the open beta coming in about a week and a half. The biggest disappointment for me at Gamescom was actually with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, as they didn't even let us get hands-on with the game. It was just a preview, which is weird because every time I've been before, they always let us play the game. One other game that really did impress though was Dawn of War 3, and I've never really played the Dawn of War series before, so when Sega basically asked if I wanted to come and play the game, I got a chance to skip the queues, which was quite nice, and it was a bit of a surprise just how much I enjoyed it. Dawn of War adds a load of new features, and I'll be doing a full sort of gameplay preview as this was actually captured at the event, and we're sticking this on the PC-centric gaming channel. But it's just nice to have an RTS that feels fairly fresh, feels modern, but ultimately it really did impress. As for the other titles at Gamescom, I got to see previews of Dishonored 2 and Prey, and both of them seem to be shaping up very nicely. I got to see the new Gran Turismo, and I played the Nürburgring for around about 10 minutes. I was terrible, but it did seem like it was a decent game, and I didn't actually get a chance to go hands-on unfortunately with the PlayStation VR, but the queues truly were massive. The new FIFA is football, but it definitely seems like it's going to entertain new players. But other than that, unfortunately, it was only really steep, and that didn't really impress me that much at all. But maybe it's just not my sort of game. And there we go, that has been this short video summary of Gamescom. I'm sorry though, I don't really have a chance to talk about more games. This is literally all I could squeeze into one day. It was manic. But we'll be bringing you more gaming content later throughout the year as we relaunch properly PC-centric gaming and get you all the game reviews that you have been missing out on. But there we go, a massive thank you once again to AOC who paid for the trip to Gamescom this year. Massive thank you to you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. And if you want to see more of any of these games, then there's a few written previews that I've done over on Trusted Reviews, and I'll leave them in the description below. A massive thank you once again, and a massive thank you to Corsair for sponsoring the channel as always, and I'll see you in the next video.